Ladies and gentlemen, you might be hearing this for the first time. Thankfully, it's on H.A. Goodman on YouTube. Hit subscribe right now. Alan Dershowitz claims Donald Trump's criminal trial will not begin before the 2024 as Georgia DA to preview case against ex-president Chief of Staff Mark Meadows and 17 co-defendants in mini-trial this week. Now, you look at the true authoritarians and totalitarians going after Trump when you had servers with top secret intel. You have to look at things from what they call a whataboutism. So they say it's whataboutism. Yes. You always look at what Democrats are able to get away with and what they accuse Trump of. So you have clear violations of the law, pay-to-play schemes, quid pro quo, graft, bribery with Hunter's laptop. There are emails asking Hunter for influence that the New York Post published. And you had 51 intelligence officials going to bat for the Democratic Party. You have these like left-leaning pundits who think they're, battling the system and they're, fighting the good fight. These people are part of a very corrupt system that includes the Lincoln Project and the Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld Republicans. I vote for Trump. I love Trump because he's against never-ending military conflict. We had record low poverty with Trump. He's not a traditional Republican. But you have liberal Democrats, progressives, and the Lincoln Project all voting for the same thing and all trying desperately to knock Trump out of 2024. So you have private servers with top secret intel. It is impossible, and it is a criminal act, obviously. And the Honorable James Comey, you can watch on this channel in one of the shorts, actually stated that laws were broken, but no reasonable prosecutor would indict Madam Secretary. But with Trump, they go after him for truly believing, that he was railroaded like Bernie Sanders in 2016. Democrats can't even have a functioning primary. Again, you always look, if they call it whataboutism, you always look at what Democrats are able to get away with. So before we talk about the trial being postponed until after 2024, what are Democrats able to get away with? Okay, what do they do in terms of banning discussion and dialogue and discourse? You look at what does an authoritarian or totalitarian system do? Well, there's no freedom of speech, so you can't talk about, for example, Hunter's laptop in 2020. They focus on political rivals, the direct political rivals, which is what they accused Trump of doing. But you had President Obama, who did not transfer power peacefully to Trump. He accused Trump of being an operative of the Kremlin. And that wasn't true. Now they're going after Trump for 4 different indictments, all of which will either be overturned by the Supreme Court or there will be mistrials. None of these indictments hold water. None of them. And Alan Dershowitz and others have stated all of the indictments are broad, sprawling. The reason they're so ambiguous and broad and sprawling and all-encompassing is that they're trying desperately to knock Trump out. This is a political stunt. It's only backfiring because everyone knows that Hunter and Joe are corrupt. Everybody knows that laptop they had was a clear violation or showed clear violations of the law. Trump doesn't have a laptop. He has his personality, which they're trying to criminalize. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. But here, I'll just read you this. We'll go on and talk about the trial. So you might not know about this, but the trial will not start. So we're not going to get any resolution until after 2024. Alan Dershowitz claims Donald Trump's criminal trials will not begin before 2024. As Georgia DA to preview case against ex-president, Chief of Staff Mark Meadows and 17 co-defendants in mini-trial this week. So this is a huge week, ladies and gentlemen. If they get the trial moved to federal court, it's game over for Democrats politically. Trump gets to move his trial to federal court and get a better judge, possibly better judge, and definitely a more, I don't know the word, compassionate jury. So if Trump was president and Mark Meadows was part of his cabinet and they were working in the government, it's interesting how Clinton had private servers siphoning classified data On to, Hillary Clinton, I think, eventually will be the 24 nominee for the Democratic Party. I actually do think that. I know that people think I'm nuts, but if you look, ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable James Comey couldn't find intent. Okay? You look at a double standard in terms of there's supposed to be equal justice under the law. But if there's a double standard, then whataboutism really means hypocrisy. The definition of whataboutism is hypocrisy. Okay? You hear that stupid word leveled at anyone who points out, well, Democrats do much worse. So if they do much worse, if you have servers with top secret intel and classified data, if you're a veteran, if you're in the military, if you've ever handled classified data, I am not. I've never been in the military. But I can imagine if you walked into the Marine Corps or the Department of Defense with your own servers, if you're a veteran, God bless you watching this channel, or if you're in the military, now what do you think would happen? If you were a high level official in the Department of Defense or in any administration and you had your own servers and those servers had emails with classified data and you found ways to transfer or migrate or siphon classified data onto servers, you think maybe that would be one of the greatest cybersecurity nightmares of all time, highly illegal and a threat to national security? Yeah, I think so. What if you had a laptop with with emails asking for your influence, and the influence being that you were related to the vice president and future president? You think maybe that would be grounds for, I mean, you talk about a RICO statute. Everyone around Biden was benefiting from his name and from his clout as a public official, including Biden. How do you think he got so wealthy? Okay. So, I mean, the thing is, you're looking at like Democrats getting away with worse, infinitely worse. And it's not even, you don't have to like Trump. Like, I like Trump because we had record low poverty, Doha Agreement, Abraham Accords, first president to step foot in North Korea. We didn't have the inflation we have now. We didn't have the nuclear conflict in Europe. And by the way, if you want to read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, and other publications, go to hagoodman.com. And you can see here, Trump trial won't start before 2024. But you look, ladies and gentlemen, and if you understand politics and you understand human nature, you know what's going on. The reason that Democrats in Fulton County or in New York or in Florida or in DC are going after Trump is because they just can't defeat him. They know they defeated him in 2020, but in 2016, they know that if media doesn't do everything possible, if they don't level every single indictment, if everything isn't working, if all cylinders aren't running, if they don't have every conceivable possible advantage against Donald J. Trump, it ain't happening. So they had a once in a lifetime, you know what? And of course, they were petrified of going to the polls. So, but that's not the scenario. That's not the scenario next year. And they're trying to make him into this criminal, but all they've done is make him into a pop icon. So now what? Now this trial won't happen until after 2024. And if he regains the Oval Office, you could say goodbye to this trial. Okay? It's only making Trump more popular in Georgia and Arizona and red states that he lost to Joe Biden, who, how do we say this in the most diplomatic manner, was never popular in any state other than his own home state. Okay? Biden was never a popular political character. Okay? He never even made, mashed potato brains never even advanced beyond Iowa in the Democratic primary. That's completely theatrical performance and performance art. So anyway, hit subscribe. And he's not even popular now with all cylinders running, the public relations monstrosity propping him up. Hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. It's interesting. Democrats say, fourth indictment. Well, these trials, this trial won't happen before 2024, especially you've indicted 18 people, 19 people. They're all going to appeal to a different to a federal court, or they're going to make millions of different appeals to prolong the process. Give me your thoughts. And anyway, all of these convictions will be overturned. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. Thank you.